Hey folks, this is going to be the start of a new series of blogs I'm going to be doing once a month where we video review a particular bourbon and kind of tie it back to my career as an author. This month I thought I would start with something very simple. I have a bottle of Eagle Rare. Let's see if you can see that better. There we go. 10-year Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. This is a whiskey that I've had before, a bourbon I've had before. It actually comes from, well, Kentucky, obviously. I was first exposed to it, oddly enough, back about 4 years ago when I was in Cask in San Francisco. They had a bottle twice the size of this, and it's $40, and I thought, you know, that doesn't sound like a bad deal, considering I normally pay $24 right now anyway for this. But in California the prices are a little different, so I wanted to go ahead and just check it out, see what it was, well, the hype was as far as a bottle twice the size and for what seemed like a decent price. Well, the funny thing was I got it back to the house and opened it up, of course, and poured it, and it was good stuff. The funny thing was, to me, is that the pour on a large bottle, like literally grabbing this from my liquor cabinet and just doing the whole upside down into my glass thing, really, really easy to do. Too easy, in fact. Whereas taking this and doing the same thing, it's kind of killing my wrist right now, and it's numerous reasons. So, anyway, I discovered that Occidental, my favorite cigar bar in San Francisco, carried the stuff, and shots were reasonably priced. So I began kind of drinking that with my cigars, oftentimes pairing this lighter-bodied bourbon with like a Don Cervantes or Padron Aniversario or something along those lines. Nothing too terribly heavy. So anyway, that's the story behind why this bourbon, why now, and how I kind of got introduced to it. Let's go ahead and crack it open, shall we? Give it some basic tasting notes, provided I can get it open. This video may be edited for, well, maybe not. When in doubt. There we go. You can see a nice cork on the bottle as opposed to any other kind of enclosure. I'm not going to cut my hand on the foil. Screw that. Bourbon tasting glass I picked up in New Orleans on a crazy ass road trip that I refuse to repeat. So we'll go with that. So let's take a look at the nose. Now normally when you shove your nose on a glass of bourbon, you've got that intense alcohol feel in your face, and it's great to have that if you like that, but that's not really the desired effect. This glass, for those of you who don't know, concentrates the fumes up a little bit. Swirling it around is the same principle as wine, so we get the mixture going on here. Look at the legs. It's got some nice legs on it. It's, like I said, I believe this is 10-year. No, this one doesn't have a date on here. Oh, there it is. Aged 10 years at the bottom. So aside from the straight bourbon alcohol kick that you get from smelling it initially, I pick up a little bit of the oakiness, definitely some sweetness in there. Forgive me if it seems a little more obvious. I'm kind of relying on my old notes from having this bourbon for so many months at Occidental. There's the heat. Okay, too much of that shit. Now right away, I've got some intense spice in the palate. I will blame part of that on the fact that I stood up till 4 this morning smoking a pipe with a really Latakia heavy blend. So my tongue's a little tired. But for the most part I get that nice spice and pepper, but it's mild. It's not like Basil Hayden where it's a spice bomb, or Buffalo Trace where the pepper just kind of kicks you. It's actually a little more subtle than that. On the middle of the palate, I'm getting some oak. You know, I've never tasted fruit before in a bourbon except for the Four Roses Yellow, and that's really floral more than fruity. But this actually has some dark fruit to it. And again, that might be just a conjunction with the pipe that I smoked 8 hours ago. But who knows? I've heard people talk about the fruit content of bourbon before, so it's a little unique to me. The cinnamon component's really light. I also pick up, I'd say, charred oak, and that's a little unusual again for this particular bourbon, primarily because I'm used to it being sweeter and not so spicy, but again, the pipe. So it's got a nice medium finish. It's not really overpowering. It doesn't linger on for days like some bourbons might, but it does stick around and let you know, hey, I'm here, I'm bourbon. So there you go. Nice amber color for a 10-year bourbon. It's pretty good. My house bourbon is the W.L. Weller Reserve, and one of these days I guess I'll just have to review it too and talk about that. It's a wheated bourbon versus this, which is not. But it's good stuff. So if you're looking for something that's medium-bodied, mouthfeel, by the way, I can cover mouthfeel. It has a lighter mouthfeel. Honestly, it's not one of the heavier bourbons that I've had before. So if you're looking for an easy drinking, decent priced bourbon, I picked up this bottle literally about 10 minutes ago for about $30. I believe in California, of all places, it's a little cheaper if you go to Cask. I want to say it's caskstore.com, but you'll just want to do a search for Cask on 4th and Mission. They're really good folks. They're the ones that turned me on to this, so give them a check out if you want to, if you're in the Bay Area. Otherwise, you know, get a chance, find Eagle Rare. I also understand the folks at Buffalo Trace made this particular bourbon, so it's going to have some things in common with Buffalo Trace, which we'll discuss at a later date, but I want to do limited releases. Anyway, that's been the bourbon update for the month. I guess I'm going to tie this back into my book that's coming out from Ardent Publishing soon, that my characters in what's tentatively titled Burning for Derek. There are a lot of bourbon scenes in the book where the characters drink bourbon. So this might be a bourbon they drink. Primarily Derek, as he's not really wealthy, he's not really looking to go do the big thing. His brother Max is more into the higher end stuff, so just kind of wanted to give some food for thought there. Anyway, we'll do a review on this on White Wolf Indulgence soon, and I'll do a cigar pairing very, very, very soon as well. Probably something by ACC Cigars, since that's currently all I have in my humidor, other than my girlfriend's stuff, and I don't smoke her stuff. Because, yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys really soon, and cheers. Nice caramel.